Welcome. We're jumping right into this explainer today, and we're taking a journey, a deeply personal one, right into your own mind. We spend so much of our lives looking outward, desperately searching for some kind of map to tell us where to go next. But what if that map is already inside you? What if the tools you need for absolute inner clarity have literally been operating in the background this whole time, just waiting for you to tune in? Well, let's start uncovering that map together. So think about this. Are your emotions just random reactions? It's a question we've absolutely all wrestled with, right? You get a sudden surge of joy, a pang of frustration, maybe a wave of anxiety, and it just feels like you're being tossed around in this chaotic storm of arbitrary feelings. And honestly, society has kind of conditioned us to view our feelings exactly like that, like unreliable, chaotic weather patterns that just cloud our logic. But today, we're going to flip that script. We're going to look at the actual data behind what's happening in your consciousness. Let's kick things off with part one, the myth of randomness. Because the reality is, our emotions actually have direction. There is a sheer, profound simplicity to this realization. Emotions are directional signals. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. They're not random. They are definitely not mistakes. They are highly precise navigational tools pointing the way. Just like a physical compass needle reacts to magnetic north, your emotions are constantly reacting to the invisible forces of your life. They're telling you in real time whether you're moving closer to your true path or, drifting further away from it. When you feel something, your internal system is literally flashing a directional signal. Now, we often praise pure logic, don't we? We make these huge pros and cons lists trying to perfectly calculate our life choices. But here is a brilliant insight from the material we're looking at. Humans do not move toward ideas just because they're logical. Pure logic is, well, it's cold. It's empty. Sure, it can lay out the options on a table, but it completely lacks the gravitational pull required to actually make us take a step. Logic alone doesn't make us move. It's feeling that acts as the actual engine of our lives. Which brings us to part two, your hidden inner compass. Let's actually explore what specifically moves us. So, what makes us move? Well, we move because something feels alive, meaningful, resonant, relieving, expansive. I don't want you to treat these just as words, but rather as vital, expanding steps on your journey toward personal alignment. Think about it. When a decision makes you feel alive, your compass is locking right into place. When an idea feels meaningful or resonant, that's your internal guidance system vibrating with pure truth. And notice that word relieving. Sometimes the absolute right path isn't a loud shout at all. Sometimes it's just a quiet exhale, a sudden release of tension. And expansive. Does this choice make your world feel larger or smaller? These 5 feelings are the exact coordinates your inner compass is always trying to lock onto. Moving on to part 3, the orientation field. This is where we start mapping human consciousness. The source material defines this beautifully. Emotion is the orientation field of consciousness. Okay, this is a massive concept. Think of it almost like an ancient universal law of your own mind. Just as a physical compass relies completely on the Earth's magnetic field to even function, your consciousness has an orientation field, and that field is made entirely of emotion. It maps the entirety of your awareness. It's the invisible grid surrounding your thoughts, your experiences, and your ultimate potential. Let's break down exactly how to read this map. Your orientation field shows where coherence might emerge right out of the chaos. It shows exactly where alignment is possible in your life. It highlights where truth is actually calling out to you. And, beautifully, it shows where your inner fragmentation might finally resolve. When you feel torn apart, fragmented by really difficult choices, your orientation field is actively trying to guide you toward resolution, truth, and coherence. It's constantly working behind the scenes to make you whole. And that leads us perfectly into part 4, finding your true north, the ultimate signal. There's a pivotal realization here, a direct quote from the source that says, "It is the hidden compass to the excitement." Now, when we hear the word excitement, we kind of have to unlearn some things. Society often frames excitement as something frivolous, right? Like a fleeting thrill or just a childish distraction. But this explainer completely redefines it. Excitement is the ultimate destination. It is your true north. When you feel that genuine, undeniable spark of excitement, you are looking directly at the needle of your hidden compass striking its perfect bearing. Let me be incredibly clear. Excitement is not a luxury. I really want to repeat that because it's so important. It is not a luxury. It is a highly calibrated informational marker of alignment. It's pure data. When you feel genuine excitement about a new project, a relationship, or just a new direction in life, that is your internal orientation field mathematically confirming that you are perfectly aligned with your true path. It's the feeling of coherence, meaning, and expansiveness, literally all firing at once. It's the highest fidelity signal your consciousness can possibly produce. So, you now have the map. You know that your emotions are precise directional signals. You understand the orientation field of your own consciousness. The compass is officially in your hands. So, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. Where is your excitement calling you today?